All right, I think we are live. Let's make sure that is actually the case. We will say hi again, and I'm sure somebody will sound check me in the audience. Of course, I didn't have the field there, so. All right, so been under the weather the entire week. What's up, Ultimate Warrior? What's up, Andrew? What's up, Fox? Nice to see the three of you guys. And oh, Justin, what's up? Just been under the weather a little bit. I did get some work done. The work that I've gotten done was the Holy Diver show. I have oh, what's up, King John? I I just almost finished 2/3 of that. I have like one more third to write, and it should be done. Let's take a look at that real quick. So I didn't get much done on the painting spectrum, so we can actually go here. You know, I always like showing the live audience. I mean, when you tune in live, you get a little bit more for your money. I always like showing the live audience how things have developed and everything. So page 5. Did we get up to page 5? We're already up on page 7. And let's see. Let's give you guys a sample. Who wants a sample? I'll wait for the audience to respond. If anybody who wants a sample to have me read, and you can actually see how I make these, give you guys some insight. You know, so I'll wait for the comment there, and I'm gonna get some stuff ready. I'm gonna get my mimosa down. It's filled with orange juice. Got my cough drop going. Stick of gum to keep my mouth somewhat not dry. Everything is just kind of what do you call it? Just rolling along. I've gotten better. I felt better on Friday. I mean on Thursday. Still can't clear my ears or anything, you know. So we're getting there. But all right, let's see here. Okay, so discourse never blames the consumer for their collective stupidity. He blames FOMO marketing and predatory taglines such as last chance, limited time, exclusive. Terms like exclusive. Terms like that get the consumers oiled up, ready to spend. And this is where I haven't had time to read it yet. I've only had time to write it down neatly, and this is where I usually go and I catch my typos. So I actually have the rest of my notes right here, and let's see. I think it was on page 5 for reading. Yeah, so I go down here, and this is where I have to start reading, and this will get proofread, and that's how the shows get made. What's up, Mr. Dynamite? Well hung and dung. How you doing, man? So let's get to work. Let's get to work, and that's where the next show is gonna go. That's kind of where I'm at, but I'm 2/3 of the way done. If I can get another movie review done this month for the next quarter, I'll be ahead, and I want to be ahead for summertime. Yeah, I actually had a bunch of Clomec Ork, what do you call it, ATVs with rocket launchers and machine gunners in my last collection. So yeah, I have made Cromlech purchases before. So you know, I mean, that's I'm not opposed to them. You know, Chapter House they won their lawsuit, so you can make whatever you want. You know, the problem is GW isn't going to allow it in their sponsored tournament, and I think that's why they sponsor LVO. But LVO has basically given them the middle finger, and you can bring a 3D printed army to LVO, which I think is pretty cool. You know. But again, you know, I always, like I said, the hobby isn't for poor people. You know, I mean, you know, you got to be able to. If you can't scrape together $500 to buy your it's less than $500 is the entry fee, and that's what I talk about in the new Holy Divers show. If you know, you buy 3 combat patrols. You technically have enough to play, but where people go bankrupt is that they go bankrupt on meta chase. Oh, I've got to have the best army. What's the new slick hotness? I've got to have the best of at that moment. And that's where a lot of people go wrong in 40K. And, you know, it can be expensive, but what you should really do is, like, if you've got $3,000 to spend, you know, have it commission painted. Get something that matters. And if you decide you don't like it, you can at least recoup some of the cost of what you bought it for. There was a Marine Army I was going to send over to the Ranger, but then I noticed it had 9 bids. I'm like, he only wants 1,100 for that? The Ranger's got 1,100. His money's unlimited. With where he works, I'm not doxing him too much. He works at NG, so I'm just going to leave it at that. And he makes all kinds of money being a slave to a big corporation where their share price is like $500 a share. And I asked him if he got stock options. His answer was, fuck no. Do you get a stock discount? Hell no. So there you go. Warhammer is for everyone unless you're poor. That is true. Warhammer is for everyone unless you're poor. But it's like it shouldn't really be that bad. I mean, you buy like I said, you buy your 3 combat patrols, you buy a couple of boxes worth of paints, you go to a craft store and you buy some decent paintbrushes. I mean, the cool thing about Zoomers is that they have big daddy internet. Zoomers predominantly grow up in fatherless households, and if they need to learn something, they can learn it on the internet. You'll be surprised what you can learn on the internet. I learned how to change a starter for my Camry on the internet. Now, my brother did come over and supervise that. He's like, no, I'll be there in a minute. I don't want you doing that on your own. And he brought us, I had to borrow my brother's tools anyway. So, what's up, Shadow and Sun? New face here. First time viewer, DM James and Hunger sent you. I got to look into Hunger. I didn't know he had a channel. If somebody can go to my comment section after the video and put a link to his channel, so I can check him out, the Starvarian. I would really appreciate that. So, it's nice to be shouted out. I feel I could buy 2 historical armies. Yeah, you could. You can make a one-time, and here's another argument I make about like bolt action. If you're a casual war gamer, play bolt action. You will find games, and you can make a $600 one-time purchase for the Stalingrad set. It's $624. You get free shipping on that, and you have everything that you need to play historical World War II. And hear me out on this, and this is why it's such a good deal, that Stalingrad set. You buy that Stalingrad set, and it's got enough terrain to furnish a 6x4 table. You're getting like close to 300 miniatures. You're getting vehicles. You have 2 sizable armies. You have a complete collection, everything that you need in one box. If I had to start from scratch and I was just going to be casual, I would do the Battle of Stalingrad, and at least I would get to participate in a lot of games. It doesn't matter where you move. Bolt action is one of those games that is played, or you could buy a couple box sets and just do combined sets of... I don't know how popular... somebody in the chat tell me how popular Flames of War still is. I know that they're in the top 10 most popular games. I think they're actually like number 6. But yeah, I like pulling out the dice, and sometimes the Ranger, sometimes he has bad luck, and it's like, oh, I get to make all my moves here, and he's like, ah, shit, I got like 6 pin markers on my machine, on my Waffen SS dudes, with all the machine guns. So, sorry, I'm gonna be clearing my ears all the time, so I can't quite shake this head cold. I checked. It wasn't COVID, so I didn't get a free 2 weeks off, because if I had 2 weeks off, we would be painting other things, Let's see, what else we got? And it was very cheap online once someone beat me to it. Great set. What set is that? What set were you going to buy, Mr. Dynamite? Yeah, $624 for everything that you need. This is minus paint, but they have paint sets. So we're probably looking at about $750 for the one-time purchase if you already know what you're doing. But if you have what, $8 to spend per guy, you can probably get a decent paint job on all of those soldiers. Maybe you go $13 a guy. The guy builds everything, paints everything for you. You actually have a lot of options. But you know, I mean, you guys keep chatting, and please, again, I just want to announce, please leave a link in the comments to Starvarian's channel if you can, because I would like to go over there and visit, because I just don't have the right spelling in my head there. Or you could throw it up on chat right now, and I do have my pencil. I have my trusty pencil right here, so you know, let's do that. But we can get into some work and. What is that? Yeah, 400 euros. Yeah, it's. I would say buy it if you want that one-time purchase collection that you can do a lot of things with, because then you have Russians, you have Germans. You can always be the antagonist or protagonist, you know, and it's always fun to run. Let's see how good the British are versus the Russians. There's a lot of games and flexibility with what do you call it? With bolt action, you know. So having two armies out of the bat, having a fully 6x, I mean, you can probably tote all of that to a store, just set up and play with a friend, you know. Oh, hold on. I'm going to write that down right now. Thank you so much. Oh, let's get my mouse out of the way. Oh, he's a morning streamer. All right, maybe I'll be able to catch him. I'm a morning guy myself. So, Hungar. Fucking glare. Okay. Arian. There we go. All right, cool. It's in there. I'll go check him out. You know, and again, like I said, let me announce that all the links to awesome content are not gone. They have actually moved over to the channels buttons. And so if you want to be added to the channels buttons, all you have to do is just ask me and I'll throw it up there. That costs you nothing, you know. I mean, we have to build our own wargaming community. All right, you get out of here, General. And this the first time I didn't put him outside, so now I'm pissed. The Russians have too many flamethrowers. They're broken. Ah, sounds about right. Someone's got to be broken. Oh, how many pike blocks does the Macedonian army need? Depends on how big you want your army. I'd say 4 is enough. And reason 4 at 24 men strong, because you have a lot of flexibility there. And I always base what do you call it, pikemen as individuals. Why? For Macedonians, why would I do that? No, I do not have a Discord, but the reason why I always base my Macedonian pikemen as individuals is because I need to be able to fix these guys quickly if something breaks. And all I really want to do is whenever these guys break, because pike and shot's a little different. I have a little less play there. I can paint those guys just as fast if I lose one, or there's some things that you can actually do to make those guys work. But I want to be able to come in, clip off the arm, file it off, you know, take my file, make a couple files, and just paint a new arm. I have the ability to paint a new arm, so you never want to multi-base. You never ever want to multi-base your pike bricks. You always want them on individual 25 millimeter squares, or on sticks of 4 or 2 to 4. Always sticks, never squares. You know, so you want them on a stick like this, and you never ever want them on a square. You need to be able to fix those pikes. Same with cavalry. Macedonian cavalry, they have those extra long spears. You always want to be able to fix those spears. And if they're multi-based, you can't do that. Oh, great. Ugh. Spam, that's great. Hold on. Let's throw this out on silent mode. All right, you're done. All right. I didn't put the cat out. I didn't silence the phone. How unprofessional of me. You're an unprofessional streamer, Holy Diver. I can't watch this crap. You don't even have a microphone. That's what I probably hear. Again, I'm sorry, King John. I do not have a Discord. All right. Shadow and Sun. I will write it down right now. Sorry. We're actually getting some good talking today. You know, I haven't even had time to start. This is good. This is good. I like talking to you guys. It always brightens up my Saturday. Shadow and Sun. So everybody watching, check out Shadow and Sun, and I'll throw you guys up in the channels button there. Can I? Let's see here. Shadow and Sun. What do you guys do? Painting, crafting, and review channel. All right. I'm sure I will find it. All right. And then version 2, I can get it. I can get it now. I might stroll over and get it next week. There's some things that I have to spend my money on this week, my gaming budget. So, yeah, no problem. Anytime. I'm here because of all of you, and hopefully, I can always send a few traffic keys over to your channel, just likewise with me, and that's how you have to be the like I say, you have to be the master of your own wargaming community, and you can't do that without helping each other out and everything, and you just do what you can for each other. Hope you guys like the show. All right, I will check it out. Okay, and then where was I? Oh, okay. So Hales, right now my group is playing 40K. As you know, we just got the Arcs of Omens books, so I bought that book. I made that purchase. That's not what limited my purchase. What limited my purchasing power for this month is I bought the second edition Conquest, Last Argument of Kings book, and then I bought some, and then the shipping was like egregious, so I also bought the a unit of Household Guard, because I think I want 3 boxes of Household Guard, and so I had to optimize shipping, so I made an additional purchase, but I will definitely be getting it. I have if you wanna, let me give a shout out to Carthage Must Be Destroyed. He's a top-notch Canadian bloke who actually likes old HD. So get over to his channel. I'm shouting him out right now. Carthage Must Be Destroyed. He's in my channels button. He has a flip through that I have not watched yet. What sucks is that my time is not unlimited, and I can't keep up on everybody's channel, and I feel really bad. But like this week, I was able to keep up on DM James, another great content creator, fighting the good fight, because I was under the weather, and when I was laying down, I was trying to watch his channel, and I have to replay the video from like halfway from where I fell asleep, and then I wake up again. I'm like, because I just been crap feeling all week, so let's try to get some work done. And then Aeronauticus. Oh yeah, that's a good game. And the Titan game over the spring. How are those games? How do you rate them on a 1 to 5 scale? I don't play a lot of RPGs. I might play Legend of Zelda every now and then while I'm waiting for paint to dry. I'm actually trying to get good at Star Fox again on Super Nintendo. And so that's kind of where I'm at. Let's get some green on these guys, But no, keep it going. I will be watching the chat, gentlemen, and I'm just glad you're all here. It really brightens me up. And don't forget, there is a new Holy Diver show out. If you haven't left a comment in the comment section, that would really help out the show. All of this tactics that I've been doing to protect my analytics, they've been working. My subscriber count is only down by 1, and it's starting to work its way back up because usually it used to be I lose like 7 to 10 subscribers every upload. Now I'm not losing any. It's -1 subscriber every upload. So I will take what I can get from the evil YouTube algorithm. I still get a lot of what do you call it? Good analytics from the Holy Diver shows, and that's why those are at the forefront of being free. And then not a lot of people watch my horror movie reviews, so the analytics are protected there. So I get to keep the likes. Basically, I found that you can keep the likes. I am aware of Razor Fist. Wish I could go on the show. I could really use the help here. I know that would never ever happen. I actually tried to give him some BattleTech stuff that I don't want anymore, and I told him I'd paint it up for him on a super chat, but he's like, I didn't get an answer. I got a like that's I really want it, but no. And if I were Razor Fist, I don't know why he wouldn't have a PO. You know, where he can get the mail and have someone else open up the mail for him, make sure it doesn't have anthrax in his mail or something like that. But when you're as big and as hated as he is, you know, I mean, you're entitled to your anonymity. But I wish that would be a lifelong dream come true right there, getting to talk miniatures and board games with the Razor himself. That would be pretty awesome, you know. Tells you where I am in my life. Oh, I wish I could talk to Razor Fist. That would be pretty cool. Maybe even talk a little heavy metal. I haven't listened to a lot of metal lately. You know, I don't constantly just sit down and have a listen. Well, let's see here. I'm going to finish this guy's flesh, and then I'll give the chat a good look up and get back to your guys' questions. Ugh, this is a hard one. And right here, I really want to be careful with what I'm doing. Simply because, oh, sorry, buddy. I don't want to get any green on the door. Don't want to get any green on the door. I don't want to get any green on the squig. That purple ink is badass, by the way. If you want to do up some squigs really quick, get some purple ink. All right, let's get this guy rocking and rolling. I am going to leave the steering wheel steel and everything. I'm not going to put any extra colors on it because I need to do this for the focus of time. I would really like to have this thing off of my desk by the end of the weekend. I'm done looking at it. So this might get the full wrath of my paintbrush this weekend. Like, I'll work on it today, I'll work on it tonight, I'll work on it tomorrow morning. And if I'm lucky, I'll be taking care of this by what do you call it, Monday night, because I don't have a lot of writing to do. Hold up here, almost there. These little goblins, I always like goblins. Goblins are my favorite. Let's see here, come on guys, come on. I'm actually going to have to break out the moot green for the goblin highlight. All right, let's go with your deltoid. Okay, that's just a strap. All right. All right, where are we at? Oh, we're going quick. Oh, glad. Oh, Seven Sun did a. Yeah, I follow him on Instagram. I guess I should follow him on YouTube. I've been a little bit lazy in that category. Haven't played Aeronautics yet. You'll have to give me a review. Well, if Henry Cavill mentioned me on the socials, the channel probably would have blown up. That would have been pretty cool. It's suppression. It's weird. Where I'm on the dark ass end of YouTube, and I don't know why. You know, I've been like targeted for termination. Maybe, you know, I've had some popular videos that kind of blown up over the years, like Women Suck at Wargaming, got over 250 likes. You know, so that can get you in trouble. Plus, they actually, at YouTube, the problem, one of the things that's financially wrecking them right now as a company is that they actually pay people to be censors. So every video at some point that gets uploaded, they watch. They watch it. The algo bots watch it. And if you say the F word, any kind of F bomb, any kind of swear word, they have algo bots that look for that crap. They have nothing better to do than eliminate free speech. You know, that will probably get me the demotion in the algorithm right there. But, you know, it's just, it's been really frustrating, like, because when I saw 40, I think it was 41 likes get stripped off of Marathon, I just said this usual stuff isn't working. And so what I need to do is I need to make content that flies under the radar, gets its likes, and shows 100%. Now, what I am getting is more viewership than usual. My viewership is up 60%. And I can do that by catering to the current audience that I already have. And that's important too. So that's kind of why I opened up the Patreon and everything, is because I'll put out content that only they can watch indefinitely for a little while, and they can watch that at their leisure and everything. And then I can take all the likes from that, and that goes up. Because if you watch the whole thing, that puts the viewership up even more. You know, it doesn't look like 2 views on a video would help, but having a 100% view on a video with a 100% with a 100% like ratio plus 1 or 2 comments really does help out. Used to be comments would get your shit spread around pretty well, you know, and not to mention shares are still like a share on YouTube is still like gold, you know. I wish I knew how to promote channels. There's still so much I need to learn now, ever since I started really taking this seriously and everything. All right. Yeah, Razorfist is one of mine. I'm subscribed to him across platform. I watch a lot of Styx, Hexen, and Razor over on Rumble. Not to mention Terrence Pop streams. Okay, me and Razorfist might have some of the same energy, but that guy is really smart. Like, I mean, he first and foremost, he has all the trappings to be a really good comedian. Like, my brain is about, I'm gonna say 50% slower than his. There's no way I could be that quick. I'm sure he does write his shows in the similar way that I do, but there's no way I can make a 10-minute video and turn it into a Holy Diver show and get the same kind of reaction that he does. And another advantage that Razorfist has is that he's old YouTube. If you're old YouTube and you made it before 2015, like you came on in 2009 and you built your subscriber base then, you actually have a huge advantage over anybody who's trying to do it now. Really huge advantage over anybody who's trying to do it now. You know, and it's just it is what it is. But the 100% and the total viewership, not to mention the streaming, it's helping the analytics, and it's you know, it all adds up. And so, you know, I've stopped bleeding subs for uploading, and I will take that. This guy's missing a toe. My autism will know. And so, you know, but all I can really do is make videos for my own subscribers, you know, and then see if I can make a little bit of money so that I can expand the operation. If I can expand the operation, like, you know, at some point I'm going to need a new computer. I'm going to need double the equipment that I'm already using, because the plans that I want to put in place kind of involve live streaming the games, live streaming other people's paint sessions and everything when they do stuff, you know, just kind of ramp it up and start just continuously hit that algo bot right in the face. You know, I think it was a miracle that Play on Table, the 40K in 40 minutes or something like that, battle reports. They got their silver play button, but you know, you have to look at all they probably have, I want to say, at least 10, maybe $12,000 of equipment in that studio of theirs. They have a full room of their house that they can devote to making videos, and then not to mention they have enough free time to make clip all that stuff together with the audio and everything, and do high production, uh, high quality videos. I mean that's huge, you know. And an amateur like me, one man operation, never in a million years. The only way I could have made any headway was back if I started doing this in 2006. And if I knew now and I know then, I could do some time travel. Where did I park my time travel machine? Where did I park my time travel machine? I'll go get some Bitcoin while I'm out. And I'm like, just sell it 50,000 and you'll be 10 times ahead of everybody else who lost their ass. Let's see here. I'm just going to give this guy a look-see real quick. He's got a little friend. A rope up his ass. Full wrath. Who's getting the full wrath of my paintbrush today? You are. Of course I can see your toes. Why wouldn't I be able to see your toes down there? I love these squig guys. Oh, hold on here. Give me 1 second. I'll get up to chat in a second. I really want to finish the flesh on all these homeboys. And I'm also living proof that this paint isn't toxic. You lick your brushes. My sister thinks I'm going to die. You lick your brushes. Oh my God. You need therapy. That's what it all boils down to. Oh my God. You have an anger issue. You need therapy. You're going to end up institutionalized. You'll end up brainwashed with bloodshot eyes. You won't have anything to say. They'll brainwash you to see your way, to see their way. I'm not crazy. Institution, you're the one who's crazy. Institution, stick me in an institution. Said it was the only solution to protect me, the enemy, from myself. I just wanted a Pepsi, Mom. All right. Let's see, where are we at? Who is salty? Shadow and Sun. Is this the intellectual dark web? I would like to be enlightened on what more of that is. Terrence Pop is epic. I do like Grunspeak. And then, well, thank you, King John. Yeah, I think I have seen you around for a long time. Actually, YouTube gives subscribers icons. And you'll have like a top commenter icon, which I think is red, and then there's a long-time subscriber icon. And if you look through if you look at certain, I don't know where you go to look at that. I can't quite remember. I know where it is, but you can actually see who's been watching you the most and everything. And then let's see, well hung and done here. Slap chop videos, is that like a pre-recorded? That's what the Holy Diver show is. They do reward you if you put together a like 40-minute presentation, a little bit in the algorithm. That's why those kind of videos, the Holy Diver show gets a pass on the algorithm because it maintains a high watch rate, which is always more than average for the channel itself, and then it retains a high like count, which is more than average, and that pushes it up in the algorithm. And then Okay, I don't understand this one. You're better than the government. You show us where the money goes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Just be honest. If I mean, if you're, like like all of the patrons, like when I make videos for them or something like that, I've got, as a matter of fact, there's a little video that I got to make for them on some announcements that I haven't gotten around to yet because I've just been so busy and I've been sick. You've got to be honest, and I can show them every item that I bought. And, they have bought me a full terrain set for 40K. That is true. They've bought me cables. I was not happy. They're actually right next to me right here. I was not happy about this bundle of wires, which cost me like $60 over at Best Buy. And these were like, these blue things were like $1 on eBay. And I was told that they didn't exist. So, I mean, yeah, just, be honest. They also bought me the Cam Link and stuff like that. So yeah, just be honest about what you're doing with the money and everything, because if I invest in the channel, I can grow the channel, and who knows? Maybe I will get lucky enough and I'll make enough money to pay the rent on a commercial space where I can do more of this stuff all the time. I mean, I have made this my third job. Everything kind of slowed down because even though we're getting snow, we're just getting ice, and you can't shovel ice. So that, and nobody seems. And this storm, this winter was so bad, and my side business hinges on the laziness of people's children. That people have actually come out of the woodwork to actually help out their folks. You know. You talk to these old people over where I live, their yards are in shambles, their kids never help them in the yard. You gotta bid Mexican landscapers to at like 65, 120 an hour, depending on the crew size and what you need done to get anything done these days. Inflation's crazy, so I go in and I undercut a landscaper. Yeah, I can dig all these holes for you, and you're sitting there saying that your son's gonna come and plant the trees? Yeah, sure. Holes are dug. I leave. I take my $130 or whatever it is I charge them, and I walk off. And I've made some cash. Now I am trying to go legit because there's a few tax incentives to go legit with this stuff. But I mean, literally like Biden administration's talking about like taxing tips. Well, we're not really going to do that. Then why did you propose it? That was a Sticks accent video today. Sergeant K, what is up, dude? Sorry I didn't acknowledge you. Andrew, I think you were here from the beginning, but I'll acknowledge you again. Let's see here. You had to dig out a truck? What kind of a truck did you have to dig out? And you're always welcome. I'm here for everybody's inspiration, I guess. Okay, so JFC has just shared a link to the show on my IG. And I just noticed that IG has spot to put my pronouns. Wow, okay. That's a weird one. What is JFC? Sorry, acronyms. Hashtag salty army. If I was smart, I would rename myself the Angry Tabletop Nerd. But I don't think I'd get away with that. I think that's already taken. He's the angry tabletop nerd. He's the angry Warhammer 40K nerd. He's just the bitter, angry man-child nerd. All right, that's enough flesh. Let's switch and see about finishing off some purple for these homeboy squigs here. No, I never served in the military. I feel bad that I didn't now. If I, like what I should have done from the beginning when I was like 17 on military service was I should have hit my parents with it this way. Should have said, "Hey, Mom, I have a plan. All right, I'm going to join the Navy, and I'm going to become an electrician. All right, this is my plan. I'm going to become an electrician. I'm going to do that job in the Navy for 4 years. Then I'm going to get out, and I'm going to re-enlist in the National Guard and do that job there for 20 years. And if I had done that, I actually would have been grandfathered in, and I'd be ready to retire right now. And who knows how much money I would have had, you know? We don't tell our kids, our young men in life, the right paths to go. That is a very clear-cut path. Like, hey, Mom, I'm going to join the Army. I'm going to become an 88 Mike, learn how to drive trucks and heavy equipment, or I'm going to learn how to build things. I'm going to learn how to do excavation. And then, I'm going to do that job for 4 years. Then I'm going to re-enlist in the National Guard, and then you do that. I mean, I know they took the 20-year retirement away from guardsmen anyway, so it's like it's not worth it anymore. But if I had done that back then, I would be approaching the 20. I would probably be on the 20-year mark if I had done that at 17. Not only would I have my retirement paying me out and everything, I would have been working a job. But the problem with being a soldier is you get pussy bombed because you have all these moms that tell you, just marry a soldier and make sure he puts a baby in you, and then divorce him and you're set up for life because they have the JAG system, and that's why guys like Terrence Popp exist. They tell you how bad JAG is, and then it's like you're stuck there for 20 years. That's how they get you, So there's pros and cons to everything that you do. Let's see here. I moved 8 hours from home. I moved 8 hours from home. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Oh yeah, the nerd girl saturation of girls doing Warhammer is just bullshit, and the simping for the chicks that do that kind of stuff while hung and dung, it's just a vomitorium. It literally is just a vomitorium of like, oh, you're so beautiful. Whoa, let me see you. Do you have an OnlyFans? Can I get a picture of you? I'll buy a picture of you. Yay, and it's like, and unfortunately, men are really stupid. This is where I'm going to bash men a little bit, is because they encourage the worst kind of behavior from the females. They really do. And there's a nice girl that I know that I was talking with now, she was going to post something on Facebook and she showed it to me, and I said to her, how many likes do you need? She's like, I don't know. She didn't have an answer. It's cute. I mean, I wish I wish she would send to me more of her photos like that. I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie, but a lot of guys, are very, very lonely. It's like people are lonely, and the worst thing that we've done in the last 30 years is that we've convinced the sexes. Feminism has literally convinced 50% of the population to not want the other half. And, technically speaking, this is the whole reason why human beings were here, And I look at a guy like Bill Gates. Yeah, he's rich, but, I guarantee all of my sex sessions have been better than that guy's sessions, That guy in his wiggle body, he has never had good sex once in his life. He's probably pulling an Epstein, masturbating on plants and shit. Because he can't keep it up for an extended period of time, He's got a pillow body. It's okay, so you're working on an org truck. What's up, Darkness? I recognize those eyes anywhere. Let's see. No, I do hear from Hayden. Hayden is a lawyer now, so congratulations, Hayden, if he ever watches. He is very busy. I hear from Hayden. I wish I heard from Creature Feature. I wish him all the best, but he's just he's in a bad place right now. And when he gets clean, I'm sure he'll come back. Is nothing terrible, nothing terrible, but that he's just in a different place right now. So, I mean, when he's ready, when hopefully when he's decided what he wants in life, hopefully he can come back and be a part of this. I don't really turn anyone away because at the end of the day, the only thing you have is other people. You know, the only thing you have is other people, and you just got to make your life count. So he'll get clean and everything will be good. So, you know. But I do hear from Hayden all the time. And as far as like the girls on Instagram, oh look, there's like what's her name? Katie plays 40K, and then there's she's got a friend who looks like a man. She's like 6 feet. She's like 6.5 feet tall, and it's like Irene also plays 40K, and there's no amount of there's just endless amount of guys out there, and it's like that commercial for Ghostbusters. We're ready to believe you. Whereas it's like every guy out there, oh, we're ready to worship you. Hey, there's a guy with my namesake. I noticed he subscribed in the last couple of days when I was looking at my analytics this morning. Excuse me. Congested. Well, that's pretty cool. I would hold off on joining any branch of the armed forces. This whole Russian thing, hopefully it passes by the time he goes. I mean, the whole Russian thing has got me scared. I mean, I've actually heard analysts saying, "Oh, we could win a nuclear war." Nobody wins in a nuclear war, jerk off. But I mean, I'm not against serving your country. I'm just against serving in the military under this administration. You know, and being a millennial and being in that generation that had the 20-year long war in Iraq and Afghanistan, it's bullshit. We go to these countries and we're not allowed to win. That's the problem. Whereas, like, you have to be quick and brutal. How did we, I mean, how do you bring a population to their knees? You do what you did to Japan to them. As much as it hurts me to say that, you have to end the war quickly. And if the war was going good in Ukraine, they wouldn't be on their third and thinking about their fourth aid package to this country. And I have a feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion that the Ukrainians are not only losing, they're losing hard, and they're getting bled for men, And because Ukraine is, again, like my thoughts on this, my heart goes out to anybody who's there, but this is a war that is none of our business. This is a war that is none of our business. None of our business, And so, with that being said, I don't, I am for serving the country and learning a trade in the army, but you don't want to go the full 20 years. You want to learn your trade, your blue collar trade, and the best place to do that is in the Navy, and then you want to get out and then re-up in the guard, but do not re-enlist in the same branch. Get out clean and just re-enlist in the guard. And do the same job for them, because if you're in a building unit or something, chances are you're not gonna be called up. It's always tiered assets. We're not building a base anywhere. Not to say that you wouldn't get deployed to like South Korea or something, but this whole incident with Russia. I mean, I've already heard sources of what do you call it? Special U.S. Special Forces taking casualties. And I don't think that the Biden admin understands that the Russians can fight back. This isn't like going and fighting a bunch of goat farmers in the middle of Afghanistan who are armed with a stick, a rock, an AK-47, and about 25 bullets apiece. And they have to share the AK-47. You always got. There was that scene in Black Hawk Down where that lady picked up the AK and the guy dropped her immediately. He's like, "Don't do it, don't do it." She picked up the AK to shoot back at the Americans, and then you're not allowed to. So they send us to these countries and we're not allowed to win the war, and I have a huge problem with that. Okay. So let's see here. Just give me 1 second. I freaking. Okay. Yeah, darkness. It's just feeding the stocks of Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, and other companies like Raytheon. It's just the military-industrial complex pays big dollars, and those stocks they pay like $7 a dividend. And all the politicians come out millionaires because they're given stock in those companies. So war is a very lucrative thing to be in. It's as much as it pains me to say that. It's just like we have to keep the long war going because it makes people very very rich. And another problem that I have that can be said with that. Is that government for the most part is the problem that we have in this country right now. One of the biggest problems we have, and I'm not slighting anyone who works for the government, but like the problem we have with police officers, is that they're allowed to be police officers indefinitely for their entire lives. All right. I think that if you can train a guy in 9 weeks to be a soldier, you can train a guy in 6 weeks to be a cop. And you should be able to do that job for 10 years. And then after that 10-year run, you have to be reelected to the job. If you want some kind of reform, that police officer has to outperform and get reelected. You have to be I think that if you have to elect cops to the position, I think that might change a lot of shit right there. But you also have to allow cops to do their job. If some guy drunk and on drugs gets out of his car like Rodney King did. Now, I'm not condoning the beating, but he got out of the car and he attacked him. And then you fast forward 25 years later. How did Rodney King die? Drunk and on drugs in his pool. So nothing changed. That's where I'll leave it with that. But like the government pension system, it's become too lucrative of a business to just perpetually work for government, and they need more. That's why they're talking about taxing waiters and stuff like that. Your wife had a fully painted dark Eldar army, and we still have her award-winning Tomb Kang's Queen's Army. Okay, from 15 years ago. Um, I think I'm following you on the what do you call it on Instagram. I'd like to see that Tomb Kang's army. If your wife's a good painter, you're a lucky man. You're a lucky man. That's a good one, Holy Diver. The Younger. I'm just going to refer to him as Holy Diver the Younger. One sword drawn keeps another sword sheathed. Well, another quote that's really good for that is Cromwell said, "When men run out of words, they reach for their swords." You know, when men run out of words, they reach for their swords. Very good point there. I'm doing the all of the pants on these guys and all of the clothing or cloth. I'm just going to do it snakebite leather because I want to move through this. Normally I would give them better colored clothes, but since these are beast snagga boys, they're just going to be wearing leather and stuff. Let me change size real quick and let me get down to the chat. Barisma, I don't know. I can't tell you more than what I've heard. I know that the Ranger, it probably knows a lot more about me, but to an extent, I am a bit of a Russian boo. I look at it this way. Catherine the Great fought a war in the 1700s to kick the Muslims out of that part of Europe. She was successful in kicking that part of the when you kick the Muslims out of some part of Europe back then, you get to keep that part of Europe. End of story. She claimed that part of Europe from Mother Russia. Catherine the Great is like a George Washington style figure to the Russians. And your average American is so freaking stupid they can't tell you who Catherine the Great is. So let's go down the line in history a little bit. You go to Sevastopol. There is a statue to Vladimir the Great, the Russo Viking king who converted to Christianity in Sevastopol. All right? So, it's technically a Russian asset. and there was a Russian ethnic minority. I don't know how minorities work over in Europe, but there's a Russian speaking class of people over there, and they were being harassed. All right, and Russia said, "Could you not harass the Russians living in Ukraine?" And they're like, "No, we're going to keep doing that." All right, well, you reap what you sow then, you know. And so, they nobody thought Russia would do this good. So, that's another thing too. They thought their economy would collapse once we sanctioned them to hell, And so Russia's kind of leading, and sanctioning Russia was probably the worst thing that Joe Biden ever did, because it's going to hurt the petrodollar. All of this will come full circle, and it will hurt the petrodollar. And another thing that I know in my heart of hearts is that we're 30 grand in debt. We're 30. I wish we were 30 grand in debt as a country. We're $31 trillion in debt, and we're past the point of quantitative easing. We can't QE our way out of this. We can't go back to the good old times of, well, money just creates money. So if we print more money, we'll be making the economy better. We'll be broadening the economy and expanding it all the time. We're past that. None of that exists anymore. So, if China, and this is the best part, like China and India are buying up the oil, and India's repackaging that oil and all that energy, selling it back to Europe. They're selling it back to Europe, and they're getting a 20% spread on it. They're like, oh, we'll show you, Putin. We'll stick it at the Putin, brah. Meanwhile, you're all freezing to death during the winter. That also talks about the stock market manipulation for natural gas in the United States. UNG went from, I thought I was getting a deal on it when I bought it at $18 a share, and this is not financial advice. Then it went down to 16. I made another buy. Then it went down to 10. I made another buy. Now that it's down to 8, I made another buy, and I'm going to be sitting on all that UNG stock until it goes up to 30 again in the summertime when people have to cool their homes. Because they manipulated the price down. They won't allow exportation of natural gas from within the United States to keep the commodity from exploding on the market. So that's another thing. But that is not investment advice. All right, just so you know. I have to say that because people all of a sudden go and buy a bunch of UNG, and what I do a lot of sector rotation in the stock market, and it's just, I'm not giving you any investment advice, and UNG is a commodities ETF for natural gas. So, but I'm not saying that you should buy it, and so hopefully I don't get sued. You're like, HD, I went broke because I listened to you about UNG. There are other smarter people that you can listen to about stock advice, and you have to do your own homework. I gotta leave you there on that one. Sorry, let me catch up in chat here. How I in 2 places at once? I don't know. You tell me, HD the younger. All right. One sword keeps the other one sheathed. Okay. Andrew. All right. I did 8 infantry. Only got. Oh, so you were in the infantry and you got your GI Bill. Yeah, do it for that. Yeah, Sword and Son. If you're gonna let your kid join the Air Force or a branch, just get your GI Bill and walk away. It's not worth it, because if they go in against Russia, we are going to take casualties. Russia can actually ramp up the casualties on us, and I don't think mentally, as a nation, with how fragile and weak everyone is in this country, I don't think that we're prepared for American men, to come back in body bags, in numbers, not in the tens or 20s range, but I'm talking in the hundreds. Mentally, our mothers are not prepared for that. We are not prepared for that. We are not prepared for our men to come back in body bags. Russia can put a squeeze on us, and I don't think that they understand that in Washington. We have a army right now that has not been tested against an army that isn't a terrorist army, an insurgency army. We are not prepared to fight a standing army. Meanwhile, they've been using reserves in the Russian army, throwing them into the meat grinder on Ukraine, and they've been training a veteran army. I don't know, and nobody's talked about that right now. They've been training a veteran army. And so, you send fresh troops of U.S. soldiers against the Russians, you're going to have a reenactment of the Battle of Kasserine Pass, where men just flat out get scared and they get beaten. And we took a licking at Kasserine. We took a licking at Kasserine. The first time it bat against the Germans, we got our butts kicked. We took a big licking at Kasserine Pass. So much so that they were willing to gamble on Patton. And we're not allowed to have commanders who are close, and we don't even have commanders who are even close to Patton. When Donald Trump said, "Oh, that's easy, I bombed the crap out of them," people are like, "Oh, you're a racist warmonger, Donald. Oh, I'm triggered." Oh, with everybody being triggered. You wait until the bodies start stacking up, because the only thing that second place gets you in war is dead. And you don't want to be second place in war. There is no participation trophy either. Excuse me. Ah. All right. The Night Lords, they're a good faction. My friend plays them. I have yet to beat them. I have beaten them down, but I've never won on objectives. That's one of the problems with me, is that I only understand Orc Smash. After 20 years of 40k, I only understand Orc Smash. My warmongering on the table. Same with me. You put if this is a dick measuring contest between Biden and Putin, Putin wins every single time. Because the Russians have been training an army this entire time, and that baptism under fire will give their soldiers an edge. They're less likely to panic. Yeah, the sheriffs are elected, but I'm not, so when it comes to like police reform, they go about it the wrong way, number one. I think that they should pull it up by area code, and cops should only be allowed to come from that particular zip code. All right? You can train men to do this job relatively easily. You give them 10 years. If they make it 10 years and they don't get reelected, you can give them a $500 a month stipend, which isn't a bad thing. You give them a $500 a month stipend, and all of a sudden, things can get better. You can earn a stipend. But after that 10 years, you have to be reelected. And that's where we go wrong with a lot of government jobs. Same with firefighter and VA jobs and everything like that. All government jobs, I think they should be, you should only get 10 years in a government job. Teachers themselves should only be allowed to be teachers for 10 years, and then after that, they have to be reelected. It should not be a permanent position anymore. One, because we don't have the money to pay the retirements. Let's see here. Let's catch up. Oh, so, dude, you live in NY, man. If I were you, all, come out to the Rockies, man. I'll welcome you and your wife with open arms. Just, you got to get out. I mean, I don't know what part of NY you live in. You don't need to dox yourself, but damn, dude. I couldn't live in that state. I could not live in that state. And, it's like, oh, we're going to ban this. We're going to ban stoves. What's next? They're going to ban the floor? You have to walk around on your floorboards because it's more environmentally friendly. And the crazy train has no brakes with crap like that, If they can turn, you see, this is another thing that kind of scares me. If they can control the way you cook your food and everything, give me a second here. Shut up, you asshole! Ugh. Okay, that'll fix him. If he's going to throw a tantrum, I'm not going to take that on stream. Hell no. Usually I turn him out. I'm not going to take that shit. He's been fed. He's already been out once. He got to sleep in the room last night, and he slept all the way till like 6 o'clock. He has freaking been spoiled rotten, and he's still an asshole. So what do? I throw a bunch of cards at him. A bunch of 8x10 cards. Call him an asshole, and he'll be like, oh my god, he's mad. Run away. Bastard. I don't need him sitting there stressed out for no frickin' reason. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, you gotta get out of NY, Ultimate. The problem is there's such a device between civilian and military. It's another entire world, and they don't care. Yeah, they want to control the military, but if nobody wants to join the military, they don't have a military. You know, so they're already talking about backtracking on the mandatory vaccines for the military, you know. And I don't know if they're going to do that. Um, I don't know. I think we are beyond fixing anything with a presidential run. And, you know, it's like I already like had huge arguments with my parents one day. I'm like, your guy, it's okay. You guys are assholes. Your brand of politics is more important than my stock portfolio. You know, and they truly believe it. You know, it's like, okay, if it's more important than my stock portfolio, we don't need to talk anymore. I don't know why you're complaining. I have every right to complain. The reason why we'll never fix anything with a presidential election is because the entrenchment, number one, and number two, I don't think Republicans can win another presidential election. I have lost faith in our ability to make good choices. Number one, people are choosing welfare. Number two, like let me tell you about one of my neighbors. Okay, my neighbors are boomers. Their 38-year-old son just came back to live with them. That's all right. There you go. I wanted to let that hit you. That means I think he was born in 86. 86, and he's 38, and he's living with his parents. All right? That's where we've gone. You know, and I don't blame him. I don't blame a lot of guys who failed to launch because, you know, the boomers have ruined the sexes for one another. There's no women to marry. They've convinced women to not want men, so they're not enterprising. All right? But he's 38 years old, and he majored in sociology, and he lost his job working at a university in like some weird university field. All right, like some made up government shovel ready welfare job that is not a real job. And he was in the state of he's come down from the state of Oregon to live here where I live because he's just a loser. You look at him, he's underweight. He's ugly as sin. He's got like these freaking bone piercings in his nose. And, you know, so it's like you went to work like that. No wonder you lost your job. But like, you know, so that's another reason, you know. So I don't think that we can fix anything with an election. The only thing that we can hope for is to elect governors that will find their balls. And you need 30 states to amend the Constitution with a convention of states. That's the only thing. That's the only way things get changed is through a convention of states. And I don't think that will ever happen in a million years. It will never happen in a million years. And when you amend things with the Convention of States, you basically have to the only thing that will save us, like during elections and everything, is basically you have to amend it that let's say there's 30 states, there's 30 counties. I don't know how many counties are in New York, but this is a good one. 30 counties in New York. If only New York City proper and Manhattan and Brooklyn, I don't know if these are counties or they might all be in the same county, vote Democrat. If that's the only one that votes Democrat, New York should break for the Republicans. You need to have one county, one vote. Those votes get tallied by county, and then once you assess the geography, you get one state vote for president. That's the only way things will change. And then we'll be a republic again until people find a way to vote themselves more free money. Hold on here. All right. I heard the South is good. I'm gonna visit Arkansas, and I want to visit Sparta, Mississippi. Those are places that I want to recon, but I don't know how much Arkansas floods. I also don't know how much Sparta, Mississippi floods. I don't think if you're in the South, you could tell me if Sparta, Mississippi is on the river. I'd like to know. Oh, that cat, he's been around forever. The general has been around forever. And when he has it, when I know that meow, that is, I'm going to throw a tantrum, meow. I'm going to throw a tantrum about nothing. So that means pick up an item. Usually it's an empty can, or it's in this case it was a bunch of 5x8 cards with 40K shit written all over them, and you toss something at him and you tell him to shut up. And he gets the point. He'll go up to his chair, and he'll sit down in the chair, and he'll shut up for the rest of the day. That's how you deal with the general. That is how you deal with him. All right, let's finish the leather on this. We've had really good talk today, you guys. Wow. I didn't even really need to paint that much. All right, let's go down to the next one here. Okay, Connecticut is like super expensive, isn't it? Yeah. Texas is a good place. I've never been there myself. My goal is to go to Texas eventually and see the Alamo. Yeah, and that's another thing. The Arizona is no longer in play. It's officially a blue state, and Razorfist just won't admit it. You know, but he does him. If I were him, I'd move. That's another thing that I don't get. There's a guy who makes a lot of money. He can afford to live anywhere, and if he was smart, he would just pack up and move to Cheyenne. Sure, it sucks, but yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, nobody's gonna bug you in Wyoming. Or he can move to Nevada, you know. Okay. All right, you have a good one, Sergeant K. Around Fayetteville is great. Okay, thanks for the tip. So you don't want to if you live in the eastern side of the Mississippi River floods occasionally. Yeah, I don't know how often the Mississippi floods. It seems like in the 90s it was flooding all the time. If I go to Texas, I will announce that. But like I said, I'll be going as a tourist to San Antonio, and I'll probably be flying in because When I went to Tennessee and hog hunted, you know what's funny? If you're a Texan, you'll understand this. The Tennesseans do not claim Davy Crockett as a favorite son. They like John Sevier. John Sevier, Sergeant Alvin York, and Dolly Parton, and Kane the mayor, the wrestler Kane. Those are the favorite people of Tennessee, you know. But the Davy Crockett, he's got a little museum on his house, and it was by a river, not a mountaintop. And they've got a few things. And I do know that when I was there, I was talking to the lady who ran the museum for Davy Crockett. She says, I've dealt with the people in Texas before. I don't like having to talk to the people in Texas, but we are getting Davy Crockett's rifle back, apparently. So I guess they're taking Betsy, I guess they have Davy Crockett's rifle, and they're taking it up to his birthplace in the museum there. And there was a little bit of a fight there. But they don't have statues of the man, whereas like they have. I'm sure that if I go to Texas, they have Davy Crockett Elementary School. They have Juan Seguin Elementary School. They have Colonel Travis Elementary School. They take their founders very seriously in Texas, and they just don't take Davy Crockett the same way. I was kind of disappointed, but it was a treat getting to see the birthplace of Davy Crockett and everything. Yeah. Okay. So the Coast Guard is a branch that you can join. I do speak Spanish. I do. Comprendo mucho español. Háblame despacito. Quiero oír los verbos, por favor. If anybody in the chat understood what I just said, let me know. You know. But I do speak a little bit, enough to get by. Just enough to get by. But I need to know. Quiero oír los verbos means I need to hear your verbs. If I don't hear the verb in the sentence, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, the Texans claim Davy Crockett more as a favorite son than the Tennesseans do. Yeah, that's one of their better movies. That movie was loved all over the world. Walt Disney really knew his shit when it came to making films and making icons and everything. To me, Davy Crockett is still Fess Parker to this day. That Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier movie, really good movie. Really good movie and it just represents the best of what Disney could do back in the time. And Disney now, we've got a victory, everyone. We're so woke, we finally canceled Zippity Doo Dah. We finally canceled Zippity Doo Dah, everyone. Isn't that great? And this is how dumb people are. Like, I'd hate to have to tell you this, but Zippity Doo Dah won I think it's James Baskett. He was the second African American to win the Academy Award. His portrayal of Uncle Remus won him the Academy Award. It's Bassett or James Baskett. He won the Academy Award for Song of the South. And they're canceling it because of the racism. Touch that up. I'm just touching up pants right now. God. There we go. Let's go to some rojo. Or in Japanese, that's aka or kurenai, crimson. Aka is red. Kurenai nisomota. Kono orero. All right. All right. I think we're good. Ugh. All right. Let's see where we're at now. All right, that's pretty good. His mom's from Mexico. Got yourself a little senorita there. I could have married a Mexican chick at one point. Um, Let me ask you, John, did you go to any school named after an Alamo defender? Did you go to Bonham Elementary School or what's his name? Sam Houston Elementary School or let's see, God, Jim Bowie Elementary School? I guarantee there's a Jim Bowie High School in Texas. Oh, both him and Sam Houston are from Tennessee. You know, they really defined, but they had that attitude. They wanted to move west to Texas and pick up and start again. Harrison is currently the HQ for the clan. Well, you know, I'm not. Okay. I didn't know the clan was still a thing, but Arkansas has, from what I've been told, the weather patterns in Arkansas are as follows. There's the rainy season in Arkansas. And then after the rainy season, you move into boob sweat weather. And then after boob sweat weather, you go into no ass is ever dry kind of weather. One of the books I read, Bachelor Pad Economics, says you might want to do a little reconnaissance in the country on where you want to live. And Arkansas is boring, number one, and it doesn't have winter. Because when you get older, you decide that you hate winter. Any tips on painting horse flesh? Yeah. Right now, I can give you a tip right now. Okay? I'm going to give you a little mixture. Let me find the color. Okay. So painting horse flesh, you're going to start with Marron Carbonize or Charred Brown from the Game Color range. You're going to take a drop of this after you paint. You're going to paint the whole horse with this, and you're going to use a big flat brush. There you go. Before you stick the rider on, you can just paint the horses really quick with this, all right? Boom. Done. Then you're going to mix one drop with 3 drops of this, and this is going to be your horse flesh highlight. This is, where is it? What's the name of this color? Maroon Rojo, or red brown, cavalry brown, all right? And you can do a lot of red horses. You don't even need to paint the tails. The tails can be the same color. The manes can be the same color. But I have just given you all your horses will be the same horse. That's fine. But if you don't really care about that, you can just burn through your horses really quick. All right, you can burn through your horses really quick. Or you can use Battlefield Brown, which is kind of a lighter brown than Charred Brown. And then, hold on, where is it? There's a color I need real quick. Let me find it. I'll give you this second one. Mixed with a little bit of Monster Brown. And so this will be like these two colors. So this will be your base. This will be 2 drops for 1 drop, I think. I haven't used this color in a while, but Monster Brown from War Painter, pretty good color for horses. One and done. Just make them quick. Let's get some red out. Little scarlet next. Before I do that, let's paint this thing's wings. Of course, this is not ready to go. All right. Have a great weekend, Shadow. Sorry I didn't look up fast enough. So it feels like 120 plus in the summer. Yeah, it's hot, but when you're old, you want it to be warm. You know, you'll be like, Alexa, turn up the temperature, and Alexa will come back to you and be like, the room is already 100 degrees. And you got your electric blanket on. You know, that's just what happens when you get old. You get cold. Yeah, it's freezing outside right now. That's all I can say. Oh, you want okay? So grays, yeah, gray is easy. All right. So what you're gonna do is you can get yourself some. After you use a black primer, you can get yourself some USAF dark gray. Paint that on. All right. You paint the whole horse with the dark gray, and then you can wash it. I would wash it. I would wash it with the with a very light what do you call it? Nolan oil shade. Wash it with a very light Nolan oil shade, and then take somber gray, and then just use as much or as little as you want. Like you really wipe it off when you do that and everything. You wipe it off, and you just dry brush up a little bit. You'll have nice gray horses. Bowie Middle School, Jim Bowie Middle School, Crockett Middle School. I went to. Okay, Bowie and Crockett are all the streets, and they're all the school mascots. There you go. That's called patriotism. That's called having local legends. That's called having folklore. You know, there's Jim Bowie with his knife. You know, and his pistols. He always had a brace of pistols. That sandbar incident. I always tell the ranger I would never be good in a gunfight, barring some of the luck that Jim Bowie got in the sandbar incident. That got him written up. That got him written up. We just got to make a few more areas more red. I don't want to have too much water on my brush. Too much. Too wet. Too wet. Got too wet there. Here we go. Uh-oh, he's on the move then. He just got off his chair. I heard that thud onto the ground. General just got off his chair. He's moving. You could just make all the blankets leather brown. You know, nobody's gonna look at the horse blanket. You know, give me 1 minute and I will get an example of horses out for you. Okay. Davy Crockett Middle School. Go figure. No kidding. In Texas. Sergeant Alvin York Middle School in Tennessee. But you know, I mean, I will say this: for as famous as Davy Crockett is, I can see them giving more to Sergeant York. You know, very few Medal of Honor recipients were able to not only survive but do what he did. You know, that's a huge rarity. Squeech. Getting buff. I want this squig buggy done now. I am so over this model. Bleep this model. Bleep it in the ear. Problem is I have to paint one squig buggy, then I can paint the other two. I would, if I could run 6 of these things, I would. At 600 points, they can handle just about anything. But some guy won a tournament that made Space Marines cry, and he had 9 squig buggies in his list, and it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair, I say. Space Marines had to struggle in a game. Oh, no. Let's see here. I have to just look at it from different angles because then you catch yourself missing areas. There are some places I'm going to paint yellow on this, but God, I need to get this done, so I don't know how much yellow these are going to get. I mean, I think these will be yellow down here, and that's about as far as I'll go. The faces will be yellow. These squigs, these frickin' squigs, these random... Oh, that's the squig tail. Okay, cool. There we go. There we go. All right. I think we're rocking and rolling here. We are rocking and rolling. All right. I think that might have done the red in. Give me 1 second. I'll get those examples of horses for you, Andrew. Every hometown's being destroyed by PC policies. Like, I go to my hometown, and it's like I had a hand in building so many apartment complexes. And downtown is just sickening. Yeah, so, I mean, it always goes back to that. Like, I don't even know who Samuel Huntington is, but he's got an elementary, and they don't even teach you your history anymore. But I guarantee if you live in Texas, you know who Davy Crockett is. You know who Jim Bowie is. They beat that into you. You know who the Alamo Defenders were. All right, so I went for speed on these guys. And we're about grinding down. I don't mind ending the stream just a little bit early. So as you can see, this is a Empire Pistolier. He's a little dusty. Uh-oh, he's coming back down. All right, so yellow hat, yellow feather, blue clothing, metal, black boot. Could be metal, who knows? Black boot. All right, yeah, fine. But notice the horse. It's that same mixture I gave you and I made his tail. That's Air Force Gray, Air Force Gray, Air Force Gray. The leather's on. And once all the leather's on, once all the colors are on, and I've layered everything up and I'm ready, I hit it with the strong tone. Everything gets hit with the strong tone and I'm done. All right? Life is too short to try to go for Gold Demon on every single miniature you have. I put this guy in his unit, like right here. He's in his unit. 5 Empire Pistoliers being badass and everything, Nothing special. They're there. I have them. They look good on the table. This guy looks like he's just got his other pistol out to take a shot. Just kind of where I put that. And then I actually cut the holster off right there, put it on his back, Put the holsters right there. They all got an extra holster with a gun in it and everything. These guys got braces of pistols. So that's it. Nothing special. Let's look at the guy who's not wearing a helmet. I didn't even do his eyes. But he looks good. On the table, he looks just fine. That's just gray right there for the horse blanket. I don't overcomplicate things. I go quick. You got to go quick. You know, the more you think about it, you know, the less likely it is to get on the table. But that was funny to throw that crap at that little bastard cat of mine. All right, we'll keep it open for another 5 minutes, and then I'll leave you guys to your own devices. The whole story of the Alamo in Texas, and more states need to do that. You know, they need to have the because at the end of the day, we're only creatures of the polis. I think that's Aristotle said that we're all creatures of the polis. Well, I come from my own state. My loyalty isn't to the federal government. My loyalty is to the state that I live in. All right? We are a confederation of states. That's number two. You know, so things that are true in New York are not necessarily true in Texas, you know. They're two different entities. But which two states bitch the most? Well, there's New York and California and Illinois. Unfortunately for us, those states have all the frickin' people, so they get whatever they want. And when they want to try bad ideas, chances are it's coming to a state near you. I'll just whiten that up a little bit because I don't know what color to make these. So this squig bug has wings. All right, let's see here. As a matter of fact, I am going to take some of this. And so there's an orc face right here. We are going to paint this with the bone color. Because I'm going to paint this a lighter color. And so this is going to be my foundation right here. And this will probably be the last thing I do before we go off. All right. We'll go to our Uriel yellow. We'll have at least one yellow orc face on here. All right, we'll take that at face value there. I'll need foundation for the other yellow. That's about it for today. Let's go for another 2 minutes and I'll just talk to you guys. Good, finishing an orc boar chariot, that's badass. And then we got all right, thanks for digging out the Tomb Kings. We got a minute here. Let's get that started though. Oh God, there's nothing left in this. This is an old first foundation. I'm running out. I'm gonna have to go buy a foundation paint here, everybody. Uh-oh. I'm running out of the good stuff. I think that'll look good yellow. What's the orc lore behind my army? My 40K army, there's a guy by the name of Big Boss Face Crusher. He kind of runs the whole show. and that's kind. I usually put story, and then he's got some knobs that he his Tooth Cracker Boys and his Beat Stick Brigade. I used to have a named character in every single one of my biker gang army and everything. I had some lore written for my fantasy orcs, but I lost it and I can't remember it. I've slowly lost my ability to make good orc names over the years. Guess I'm just getting old. Oh, you're welcome. No, thank you for the company. I'm glad you got your horses painted up. And that's kind of why we all get together here on the show, isn't it? To mitigate our pile of shame, gentlemen, so that we can have a brighter gaming tomorrow filled with color. Of course. I know what to do. Come here. Get over here. Oh my God. You don't want to get in my jaws, do you? Try that again. I got a really monster hair that of course, there's another hair. There. Oh my God, you stubborn little shit. There we go. Got it. There we go. Got it. All right. One last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little bit of pink because somebody's getting a pink. Oh, I don't need to do that. I can just paint this right now. It's going to have a big old purple tongue on this squig. Big old purple tongue on this squig. All right. Bone process will be forever on this, so I probably don't want to show that on camera. But this is where we're about, I want to say, I'm going to list the last colors, but then we'll go off here. So I'm going to need gold. I'm going to do some like panels in gold. I'm going to need yellow ink for the foundation yellow that I just put down. Then I'll need to re-highlight the yellow with Uriel. I'm going to need moot green for the Gretchen. And then just these two colors on standby to clean up. And then I've got to paint this old homeboy because I think he stands right about there. He stands right about there with his what do you call it? His squig launcher. But that's about it. Anybody else have anything to say? So, no, I'm good. I can get my own tweezers. It's just these are Revlon. It's just I don't know. Sometimes I can't. I couldn't grab the hair. I'm good though. All right, I think we're about there. I appreciate you all for watching. Don't forget to check out the current Holy Diver show. Don't forget to leave a comment on that show. Check me out on Patreon. If you need my bench updates, I should be doing some bench updates pretty soon on what do you call it? Instagram. Don't forget to follow me there. You guys all rock. As you know, YouTube has many features you can use to interact with me. You can like the video, dislike the video, comment, or subscribe. But until I see you again, keep painting, keep playing, and stay metal, my friends.